Hi, boys and girls, and I have today's read aloud for you. This one's called Space Camp. Let's take a look. Space Camp, written by Sean McCollum. Here's our question to think about. Why do people want to attend space camp? It seems like an interesting camp you might want to go to. Introduction: From Space Camp to Space. In 1990, a sixth grader, Kate Rubbins, went off to camp. Sorry. The camp she attended wasn't the kind of place where she roasted marshmallows over a campfire, though. This was Space Camp. It was a place where kids learned about space exploration. Kate had told her parents that she dreamed of becoming an astronaut and a scientist. The entrance and habitat where the campers stay at the United States Space Camp in Huntsville, Alabama. 26 years later, a group of young trainees took their seats in a theater at that same camp. They watched a broadcast of the liftoff of the giant rocket. On board was a fresh crew for the International Space Station, orbiting more than 322 kilometers or 200 miles above Earth. One of the astronauts on that rocket was Dr. Kate Rubbins, the same person who had attended the camp in 1990 when she was a sixth grader. For years, she had worked as a scientist. Then she trained to be an astronaut with the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. That is what NASA stands for. Finally, she was blasting off to serve on a 4-month mission on the International Space Station. She had fulfilled her childhood dream of becoming an astronaut and flying into space. So this one is Kate Rubbins, and I actually think it's Rubens now that I'm looking at it. Space camps around the world. Space camps allow young people to learn about space science. Programs teach about the history of space exploration. Some projects focus on rockets and the machines used in space. Campers also go through some astronaut training. They try out equipment astronauts use to prepare for their missions. Today, space camps have taken off in many places. One camp is at the United States Space and Rocket Center located in Huntsville, Alabama. There, space camp trainees can see giant rockets and space capsules, the spacecraft astronauts fly in. More than 750,000 trainees have attended that space camp since it opened in 1982. They have come from all 50 states in the United States and more than 60 other countries. Some museums in the United States host space camps too. For instance, children can attend space camp at the Frontiers of Flight Museums in Texas. In Florida, there is Camp Kennedy Space Center. In Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian Association hosts several summer day camps. They even have space-related programs for children as young as kindergarten age. Wow. Space camps are also popular around the globe. In Canada, the Cosmodrome hosts 3-day camps and other programs. Space Camp Turkey is located in Izmir, one of Turkey's biggest cities. Russian Space Camp includes talks about Russia's amazing history of space exploration. And this is a map that points out all those places and their space camps. Going to space camp. Space camps are available to nearly everyone. At some camps, younger kids go with their family. Camps for older kids are grouped by age. Some space camps hold sessions for trainees with visual and hearing impairments. Space camps mostly concentrate on space history and science. At many of these camps, trainees study rocketry. They build and launch their own model rockets. At others, they research spacecraft construction before designing their own spaceship. And this is almost like a schedule of a space camper. Space camps about robotics are also popular. Robotics is an important part of space exploration. Rovers that have explored Mars are good examples. Robotics trainees build robots and program them to do tasks. Teams may face off in a robotics competition at the end of a camp. Children aren't having all the fun, though. Many space camps host adults from around the world. Some science teachers attend so they can bring new lessons back to their schools to teach future space explorers. Astronaut training. Many space camps have simulators for campers to try. These pieces of equipment help astronauts train for their missions. Astronauts must practice for every situation they might deal with in space. For trainees, simulators let them experience some of the same challenges. While trainees are on the simulators, an adult always watches them for safety. The multi-axis trainer. The multi-axis trainer, MAT, lets astronauts practice regaining command of a spaceship that is tumbling out of control. It is made of two big metal rings that spin and flip. The trainee is strapped in a seat in the center ring. Then the two rings move wildly in different directions. Oh boy. I like rides, but I don't know if I would like that one. The 1/6 gravity chair. This simulator lets trainees jump around as if they were walking on the moon. There, gravity is 1/6 that of Earth. The simulator helps trainees get used to moving around when they feel much lighter than normal. Here's a math minute, but you would need to ask mom or dad or an older brother or sister to help you with this. If a person weighs 27 kilograms or 59 and a half pounds on Earth, how much would that person weigh on the moon? And this 1/6 is important to help you solve that. The answer is actually there if you notice. The Space Shot and G-Force Accelerator. Roller coaster riders will enjoy the Space Shot at Space Camp in Alabama. It shoots riders upwards at a high speed. Those who ride the Space Shot feel as though their bodies are much heavier than normal due to the pressure. The G-Force Accelerator is a spinning ride. It spins quickly, creating a pressure that pushes against your body. It creates the same amount of force astronauts feel during a rocket launch. This is reminding me of there is a ride at Disney's Epcot called Mission Space, and there's two sides, and one side you actually get to feel the G-force on you, and they take one's like Mission Earth, and the other one is Mission Mars. And I went on the Mars one, and that one you could actually feel it. Simulated missions. Simulated space missions are another popular space camp activity. Teamwork and leadership are important parts of being a good astronaut, and these missions let trainees practice both skills. At some camps, they take part in a video game like simulation. One mission has participants launch the shuttle. They fly it to the International Space Station and then dock with the ISS. Team members perform their own duties, but they must also talk with each other on the headsets. Some trainees work as astronauts, others work in mission control, the command center back on Earth. Some simulated missions include voyages to the moon. Others take place on models of a space station. The crew must be prepared to think fast if the simulator makes up an emergency. For example, they might have to deal with a simulated meteor shower. For older trainees, a few space camps have created simulations for future missions, including Mission to Mars. Astronauts of the future? Today's space camp trainees may be the astronauts of tomorrow, like Dr. Kate Rubins. NASA is working closely with other space programs to plan a mission to Mars. They hope the mission will take place in the 2030s. So that's something that we might see. Current space camp trainees could be part of that mission. They could be the first people to leave footprints on the red soil of Mars. They will continue to reach for the stars. That's our glossary. I hope you enjoy, boys and girls. Have a good day.